Is this an unreasonable number of journals? Now that I'm looking at them, I don't know, it kind of feels like it might be. Hello, it's Erin. I love a notebook, and if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you do too. Today we're discussing this pile of notebooks I have before me. Some of them I've used up, some of them are new. Of the ones I have used, we're going to talk about what purposes they served for me, whether or not I'm moving those purposes into 2025 with me. Of the ones I haven't used, we're going to talk about why I've picked them and what I'm going to be using them for. Let's begin with the most obvious, the bullet journal, the everyday journal, the journal I put all of my life stuff in. This one is from Tifosi. It's the Bodhi A5 dot grid journal. It had more pages than I'm used to having in a journal, and I've done a pretty good job using them up. I mixed bullet journaling and memory keeping for this one, and I found that I really enjoyed that. I don't know how well this actually translates on camera, but there is a big divot from the elastic pulling this taut because I've put so much stuff in this journal. I will be flipping through this whole journal on the channel once we get a little bit closer to the end of the year. This one's getting me through July to December, and all of the monthly setups in this one are on the channel already in case you want to see them. Here's a playlist. I toyed with the idea of moving into a different journal size for next year, but I just really like an A5. Maybe that's not the trendy thing right now, but I have decided to stay in an A5. I'm moving into this one. This is the Song Brocade journal, also from Tifosi. Just look at this cover. I feel like that screams Erin, does it not? This one has 189 pages, and it's very easy to check that because they're numbered. You don't often get numbered pages in a dot grid journal, but this one has them, and I don't know if I need that, but I have the option, so maybe it's time to bring back an index. I haven't started setting this one up yet, but I think the cover is too beautiful not to try and do something that matches it, so watch this space for my new journal setup. I also really like the way that they do their binding. It seems to be pretty strong to me because I've pretty much abused this book. I like to stick a lot of stuff in, and it's held up so beautifully. None of my signatures are coming out. It doesn't even though I've really pushed it, it doesn't even feel like it's breaking a sweat, to be honest, so impressed with that. Also, I think this one will show up less cat hair, so that's always a win. Speaking of bullet journals, just like last year, I am also running a little giveaway for this one, which we call the mystery journal. I can't show you the previous mystery journal because it's been with its winner since June. This one is the mystery journal that I'm giving away that's going to be fully set up for January through to June of 2025. This journal's from Sassy Pigeon HQ. It's their Sage Leaves variant. It's an A5 journal. It's got 160 pages. It's got 160 GSM paper. Dot grid, of course, because that is simply how I roll. No page numbers on this one though. At the time I'm filming this, I've only set up the initial pages here, so that's all I can show you, but it's going to be full by the end of November, and then it's going to go off to its winner in early December. So you can see that setup video and enter the giveaway up here in the corner if you like. I feel like A5 is just such a good, standard, versatile size, and it's pretty easy to ship, so I tend to stick to that for the mystery journal, and that is going to be the case again next year. Moving on to my next most used journal category, and that's the reading journal, which means we've got to talk about two of them because I filled this journal up, well, close to, almost. There were a few pages left, but at the end of September, I didn't have enough pages left to make my whole October section of the book, so I moved into a smaller one to get me through the rest of the year. Both of these journals are from Archer and Olive. This one came with a subscription box from 2023. It's been an interesting experience for me because I still don't love the color of this one's cover. Mustard's just not my jam, but I do love the embroidery, and that's going to be a theme we're taking into next year, as you'll see in a moment. I just love embroidery on journal covers. I don't know what to tell you. I do have a little mark in it from my cat though, getting a claw in there when he sat on it. So this one's full, as you can see. I have a whole series on my reading journal on my channel in case you want to see how I use this one. Of course, there's videos for all of the bits inside, but this one I've abused as well, and it's held up really well. You can't really go wrong with an Archer and Olive. I feel like they're pretty much the standard for a reason. I think I just kind of stopped noticing the color of the cover after a while because it's usually open when I'm using it, which means I'm not looking at the cover, so whatever, it's fine. This was my first time using a B5 journal, and I did enjoy having extra space, but I think going forward, and from having just set up another B5 journal, which we'll talk about in a sec, I don't think B5 is for me. I think it's too big this way. It's too big vertically for me, it's too tall. And funnily enough, in a super unexpected twist, when I moved into the traveler's size journal from late September, beginning of October, this size is awesome. I've been really enjoying it. Something that it's forced me to do is to be a bit more mindful about the way I approach my spread. So I've been doing, for my book reviews, this little Dutch door kind of a system for every single one of my reviews, because I want to use this journal up, right? I want to finish it before the end of the year, and I think I might be able to do that. I think we're on track. I really thought I would find this size restrictive, but I've actually found the opposite. It's been really easy to step into this, even going from this much page space to this much page space. I haven't found it a struggle at all, to the point where I think I would consider one of these for an everyday bullet journal in the future, maybe. Have to wait and see what beautiful designs are released next year. And hey, it would be great to see some other journal brands making traveler size notebooks as well, because at the moment, I think the only people doing gorgeous ones are Archer and Olive and Notebook Therapy. So journal brands, if you can, bring us some traveler's options. So reading journal for next year, what have I got? Let's move these over here. I'm still kind of going big, okay? But I'm not going B5 this time. I'm going for a square. This one is from Archer and Olive's spring collection. It's the Heirloom journal from that collection, and it is also embroidered. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, she's upside down. Hang on. I have been hoarding this notebook. I've known that I wanted to use it for this purpose since the moment I got it. I did actually consider it for my bullet journal for a bit, but then when I saw this Tifosi one, I was like, well, no. I know I like A5 for that, so let's stick to it. I think a square journal might give me the flexibility of the page space of the B5, having a lot of room without feeling like daunted in one direction. Although this is wide, let's just compare it to an A5 real quick. Okay, yeah, that is significantly wider. Shall we compare it to the Travelers as well for context, because that's what I'm coming from. Big difference. Oh wow, aren't the Archer and Olive dots dark compared to the Sassy Pigeon dots? That's interesting. I do prefer a lighter dot myself, personally. To be totally honest with you, the cover is what has made me really want to use this journal more than any kind of internal feature. Like, that screams fairy tale to me, and that just feels like the perfect place to put book reviews, so here we are. I haven't started setting this one up yet. I have ideas for it, but I'm waiting for my Notebook Therapy lucky bag that I ordered to arrive and to like see what's in that before I jump in. Also, the ribbon closure, it might get annoying after a while, but for now I just think it's really romantic. Hopefully that fits in my bag, because I do travel with my reading journal pretty often. So while we're on the topic of reading journals, I am giving away a pre-set up reading journal for 2025 as well. Oh no, I just creased the paper. In a very similar vein to the mystery bullet journal, this one is a journal that is fully set up for the person who wins it to use, and it is the Spellbook B5 journal from Archer and Olive. It's a beauty. It is a bit different to the mystery bullet journal though, because I have to take into account that I don't know how much the person who wins this journal reads, so I can't go through and do like monthly setups for them because I just can't account for how much space to allow for that. So this one's actually just the new journal pages at the beginning. I'm going to give you a little peek. Are you ready? Whoop. That's it. That's all you get for now. But this will be the next video on my channel after today. So keep an eye out. You have to be subscribed to win, so you might as well subscribe now in case you're keen. But this beauty is coming soon. Couple of things about this journal. It has deckled page edges, which in setting this one up I found a little challenging. Not the end of the world, but a little bit different to use than your typical straight page edge. And also, I think just going from the traveler size, this little beastie, to this really made me realize that this size is not my favorite, which is great because all the more reason to give it away, right? The video for this one will be up next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on your time zone. Keep an eye out. The giveaway period for this one will not be very long because I still want the winner to have it before January hits, so watch this space. These next two journals are continuing on in their current state because I haven't finished them. These ones are going to be multi-year. This one I've talked about a decent amount on the channel already. This one is my cash flow or my money journal. It helps me to keep on track of financial things. As a self-employed person, I have a few different revenue streams that I earn from, and I like to be very aware of where my money goes as well. So this journal is where all of that information is logged, as well as spreadsheets, obviously, because like I do run a business, so I have to have digital records of stuff too. But this just helps me remain aware of where my money's going so that I don't get too crazy about things. We're not going to look inside this one because the information in here is private and sensitive. I do have some stuff about it on my channel already if you want to check it out. This one's also from Archer and Olive. It came in one of their subscription boxes last year too. I don't love the cover. Like, this is not a journal I would have picked for myself. I don't hate the design. I don't hate the color as much as I don't like the mustard of that one. But I don't like camping. I love traveling, but I'm not into like roughing it. So I've talked about this before too. I have these patches that I'm planning to eventually iron on the cover, something kind of like that to cover it and make it feel a little bit more like me. I like that better than that. I will get to it eventually. Maybe watch the vlog and we'll see if we can make it happen soon. I guess keep an eye on the channel if you want to see if I ever get around to actually doing this. Currently, I've only used like less than half, maybe like a quarter of this book, so it is remaining. It will prevail. It will continue to be my cash flow journal until I run out of pages. This one here, this beauty is coming back, I think, in the favorite sale. Literally the day that this video goes up, I think, is when the Archer and Olive sale happens, where they're bringing back some of their favorites. So this one was in the Vintage Library box, which was the September 23 subscription box, and I was just lucky to be subscribed at the time. This one, I stole the name for this one from lovely Jashi Corinne. This one is the Research and Development Journal, the R&D journal. This is where I set up layouts for examples, for videos. It's where I swatch washi tapes and stuff for haul videos. It's where I put together mood boards for setups if I want to mess around with things. So stuff like my reading journal tracking systems video, all of those are in here. Likewise, reading journal review spread ideas video, all of those are in here. This was for a workshop that I did, book bingo ideas for people to add to their own journals. I did a recipe journal workshop and we needed some photos for that to use as marketing materials, so on and so forth. You get the idea. This is where I try stuff out. Waterfall tabs video. There it is. And I've got plenty of this journal left, so this one is also going to come with me, continue into 2025. It's a good one. I like it. Once again, A5. Just want to give an absentee mention to my Morris dancing journal that I talked about in my last journal lineup video. I am still using it. It's one of the A6? Is that the size? The small pocket size? It's from Archer and Olive. It's red. It came from the same subscription box as this one. It's got lined pages. I use it to write down notes on the dances that I learn at Morris dancing, but I don't have it currently because I lent it to a friend. I'm still using it. I'm still loving it. It's just not here for me to show you. And then I've got two as yet untouched journals to show you that I'm considering things here. Actually, this one I'm pretty certain about, so maybe we'll talk about this one first. This tiny little square journal has watercolor paper inside. I'm planning to just use this as a swatch book for fountain pen inks because I just think that would be fun. I go to these fountain pen meetups sometimes in my city and people all have really fun, cool, different ways of swatching their inks. And I am actually much more interested in the ink part of the fountain pen world than I am the actual pens. I think the inks are like fun little magic potions and I love the aesthetic and everything. So this is a cheapie. It's one of those you can buy it on any Chinese dropshipping website kind of situation. So I just think that'll be fun. I'm thinking maybe like 2 inks to a spread, like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe? I don't know. And then this little guy, this is the Tifosi. It's one of their Zodiac journals. These ones are wild. They have so many pages. Are these ones numbered? Yeah, they are. Cool, that's great, because then I can tell you how many pages there are without having to look it up. 256 dot grid pages. And like, look, I'm not someone who needs an embossed edge, but I do think that's nice. I recently saw this reel and I shared it on my Instagram stories because I thought it was so beautiful. Somebody who had this memory keeping journal, they didn't write anything in it. It was just bits from their life. It was ephemera, it was bits of wrapping paper, it was very collaged, it was very chaotic, and I thought it was gorgeous. And I was like, I want to do that. And I am already doing that to some degree in my bullet journal. I've done a lot of memory keeping stuff. Like, let me find you a memory keeping spread that I've done in here. Like, this is a recent one. I did these ones for a family trip back in August. Like, it's kind of the vibe, but I do kind of love the idea of it all being in one place, which is where this journal may or may not come in, depending on how much I'm using my other bullet journal and whether or not I'm including the memory keeping spreads in this one. Remains to be seen. I suppose watch this space, but if I do, I thought this journal would be a good place to do it because with 256 pages, I could use this for a couple of years for that purpose, you know. Also, they did let me choose this journal, and I chose this one, which is not my star sign, but I didn't think the Libra one was as pretty. I don't even remember which one this is now because I'm not a zodiac girly. Sagittarius? At a guess? I don't remember. So this is the stack. It pretends there's a little red journal here for Morris dancing things. This is the stack of journals I'm bringing with me into 2025. I'm super keen to hear about your journal plans for 2025. How many are you using? What are their purposes? Which journals are you using? Have you already got them? Are you planning to buy them soon? Let's chat. If you're feeling ready to get stuck into a journal setup now after watching this, here is one of my 2025 new journal setups on the channel. This one is the mystery giveaway journal, so you can actually still enter to win this one if you want. And underneath that is a link to a video YouTube thinks you will enjoy.